Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. So in this video I'm talking about living on a motorcycle. Yes, you've heard about going off on a camper van and the van life thing. Well, this is bike life thing, or living on a bike. And really, you know, is it possible? Is it realistic? And is it realistic in Europe? You know, you see lots of videos, lots of video channels of guys going off on their bikes on tours and all that kind of thing. But for a tour or an extended period of time, you know, living in and out of a tent is one thing. But actually having a lifestyle where you're just on the road on your bike, that's something completely different. So you kind of need to look at whether it's practical, whether it's even doable around Europe or local laws, all that kind of stuff. Now, let's say United States, you get a lot of people who proclaim to have this lifestyle, and some do actually, some don't. Some talk about living off grid and, you know, living all this kind of stuff, and it's just, they're full of crap, to be honest with you. But you know, some really do roam around the country and they're just living off the back of their bike. But what they don't tell you, at some point they have to have some kind of connection with reality. They have to have an address somewhere, or they have to be registered at an address, you know, just for their motorcycle insurance, all this kind of stuff. You know, they have to have some way of funding it. Now, this day and age, a lot of people are trying to use the internet, trying to use YouTube and everything to grow channels to get money that way. You know, but it's a difficult lifestyle. Now, you can only carry what's with you. You know, you can only have what you can carry, I should say, on the back of your bike. Now, you can strap a lot to your bike, and you can, you know, live quite well. But it really depends, you know, where you're going to be, what the weather conditions are, all that kind of stuff. Now, a lot of the videos you'll see are that guys will just be sleeping outside rough. That's okay, just on a bit of tarpaulin, that kind of thing, laying out their bedroll, all that kind of thing. Look, it really depends where you are, because if you ever try and do that in the UK, you'll be freezing your nuts off outside. So only in the really hottest of days, there's probably about 1 or 2 days a year that you're going to be able to do that. Otherwise, there's no chance. You're going to be freezing your nuts off, so you're going to need a tent. And you're gonna, you know, you can't just pitch up anywhere, you know, in Europe or in the UK. You're going to have to go to designated campgrounds, which costs a lot of money, or you're going to have to ask for owners, you know, landowners' permission, whatever it is. Now, you could kind of sneak into a field, I suppose, sneak into a woods and pitch up a tent, but it's going to be illegal, really. I mean, that's the reality of it. It's not as easy as people make out. You know, they'll make out, yeah, I'm living this lifestyle and everything, but no. You know, there's always going to be some kind of connection. So, you know, living on a motorcycle is going to be probably one of the hardest things to do, and also to, you know, live unless you're touring around, but actually trying to be static in one place and just living off that bike. Well, you're not really on that bike, are you? You're going to pitch a tent somewhere. You're going to have some kind of base somewhere. You know, so it's, you know, there's a motorcycle lifestyle, there's a motorcycle camping lifestyle, there's a touring lifestyle, if you want to call it a lifestyle. But actually living on a bike it's only going to be available to certain few people who can do it. And then the reality is, behind the scenes, there's always some kind of connection to society. So they're not totally off grid, they're not totally, you know, outside of society, I should say. They're not total outcasts of society. Anyway, look, you know, I love going on tours myself. I love, you know, riding the bike. But as I say, you know, you soon realise the limitations of being on a bike and, you know, going, you know, trying to fend for yourself, whatever. You can take whatever equipment you want, but fundamentally it comes down to you. It comes down to travelling light. You're gonna, you know, as a biker, as we all know, you've got to really travel light, pack only the most essential stuff. And really, if you're going to go travelling, living on, it's a kind of a solitary experience. Yeah, you can do little segments, you know, with other people, but if you're going two up on a bike, then it's a recipe for disaster. It really is. I'm not talking about touring here. I'm talking about living off on a motorcycle. But anyway, you know, each their own. I always raise an eyebrow when I see lots of blogs or videos about people saying, yeah, I live this motorcycle lifestyle and I live here and I live that. Yeah, you're not really. You're just doing a bit of touring, or you're just going on you're going camping, wild camping for a little bit. That's not a life, that's not your life. That's just an extended holiday. Anyway, right, I hope this helps. Hope it kind of clarifies a few things. But as I say, get kitted out, get the right kit for you, get the right kit for your bike, what works, what doesn't work. Go on lots of trial runs before you start embarking on whether on a long tour or this kind of motorcycle life, if you want to do that. Look at the weather in your area, or where you're going to be traveling. In Europe, say for example, the summer, it's going to be possible, to sleep rough outside, as it were. So you got to look at that. Look at what's right for you, your rider environment, and what you're going to need to do. Go on a few trial runs, see if it works out, and then it's going to be one of those things you'll find that you will evolve as you're riding along. Or the more time you spend on the road, the more time you think, okay, this works, this doesn't work. Right, well, I hope this helps. Catch you on the next video, whenever that is. Check out the website, RevelatorAlf.com, and me on Patreon, RevelatorAlf. Appreciate all your support there. Subscribe to the channel. Catch you again. Ta-da.
RevelatorAlf.